Have you ever heard of the strange adventures of famous historic corpses? While it may sound like a far-fetched idea, there have been countless cases of famous corpses being moved, exhumed, or publicly put on display. In today's video, we'll take a look at some of the most interesting stories behind these famous corpses and explore the mystery surrounding them. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to receive more amazing content. Now, let's get started with the video. Number 3. The worst doctors of all time, Inés de Castro. Inés de Castro was a descendant of Spanish nobility, despite being born of an affair between a noble and his mistress. In spite of this, she was appointed to serve Constance of Castile in 1340, when she married Peter, heir to the crown of Portugal. Peter, however, fell madly in love with Inés instead of his legal wife. After Constance's death, he refused to remarry unless it was to Inés. The couple had multiple illegitimate offspring together. The King of Portugal grew weary of his son's politically uncomfortable affair with Inés and ordered her execution. But that's not the end of the story. So when Peter became king after his father died, he said that he and Inés de Castro had actually been married and that she was the rightful queen of Portugal. In fact, Peter built royal tombs so that he and Inés could be buried together with all the pomp and ceremony of a king and queen. He also had Inés's body dug up for reburial. But there's another story about Peter's obsession with his dead lover. Later stories say that Peter dug up Inés and dressed her corpse up like a queen. He put her on a throne and put a crown on her head, which must have been put back on just for the occasion. Then, every noble in the court was forced to kiss the corpse's hand and swear allegiance to their new queen. Absolutely crazy, right? Let's move on to the next. Number 2. Eva Perón. Eva Perón, the renowned First Lady of Argentina, had a musical written about her by Andrew Lloyd Webber. But that wasn't the worst thing that happened to her after she died. If you don't know, Eva helped run the government of Argentina with her husband, President Juan Perón, and was very popular with the working class. And this went on for years. By 1952, however, Eva Perón was very sick with cervical cancer and died at the age of 33. 3 million people went to her funeral, but that did not mean that her body was buried. Instead, a huge statue that was bigger than the Statue of Liberty was planned, and she was to be buried in the base. While this was being built, her embalmed body was put on display for 2 years. But when a military coup forced Juan Perón out of office in 1955, he had to leave the country, leaving Eva's body behind. Since the new government didn't allow Peronists, the question of what to do with Eva's body came up. The military officers were told to hide the body, but wherever it went, flowers and candles also followed. Later, using a fake name, the body was smuggled to Rome with the help of the Vatican. In 1971, it was decided that Juan, who was living in exile in Spain, could get Eva's body back. And when he got the body, he put it on a table and used cotton pads to clean it with the help of his new wife. It was fairly well preserved. When Perón returned to Argentina in 1973 to become president again, he took the body with him. He died just 1 year later, and plans were made for a grand tomb for both of them. It didn't work out though, because another military coup happened. Today, Eva is buried with her family in a strong tomb, which hopefully means her wanderings in the afterlife are over. Number 1. Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin's family was so poor that he had to spend time in grim Victorian workhouses. From this unpromising start, he became one of the world's most famous and wealthy stars. His career lasted 70 years, so when he died in 1977, he might have been ready for a well-deserved break. Unfortunately, his fame went with him to his grave. A few months later, Chaplin's body was stolen from its grave in Switzerland. Then Chaplin's widow got a phone call demanding hundreds of thousands of dollars for the return of the body. She refused and called the police. The ransom takers then threatened her children. Luckily, the police quickly found Roman Wardas and Gancho Gano. The two had decided that grave robbing was the best way to get money to help with their financial problems. They led the police to a nearby cornfield where they had hidden the body. Chaplin's body was put back where it belonged, but a new layer of concrete was added to keep people from trying to make a quick buck off of him. No matter what, These historical figures will always be remembered, and their stories will continue to astound and surprise us. What are your thoughts on the video? Do you know of any other strange adventures of famous historic corpses? Let us know in the comments. Also, if you liked the video, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more. Thanks a lot for tuning in. See you later.